This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's day 26, going live straight in a row. Thank you so much for being here, especially all the regulars who are in the house. Welcome in. We're going to be doing some shout outs in just a moment. Today is the weekend, so we are going to do some deep dive website reviews, and we're just going to have some fun. For those of you who are brand new here, my name is Pat Flynn, here to help you make more money, save more time, help more people too. And there's nothing better than bringing community together who all share the same values, the same goals, and are going through the same thing together. And we're going through some stuff right now, as you know. And I also know that my light isn't on. Hey, there we go. A little bit better now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. Cool. So welcome in, everybody. Thanks so much. And yes, like I said, today we're going to do some website reviews. However, I do want to start with a little bit of a story. And a lot of you know that I was laid off in 2008. Well, 4 years later, I was on stage speaking about how I was able to survive that. And in the audience at this conference called Converted in Minnesota, there was a reporter. And this reporter came up to me afterwards and said, "Hey, Pat, I loved your presentation. I heard that you'd gone through some tough times to get here. Might I interview you? Would that be okay?" So we sat down at the bar. We had a good 30-minute conversation. The person had a camera person with them, so they took some pictures. And then a couple days later, I saw this. So I don't know if you could see this, but yeah, you could see the reflection, that's for sure. But this article was written, and I shared this on Instagram, and so far, it is by far the #1 most liked post on Instagram I'd ever shared, ever, up to this date. And as you can see, the headline here, after job loss, he writes ebook, then rides wave of success. And definitely still riding that wave, but it was because of this, the job loss being the key factor in making all that happen. Now, there's a lot of people going through some job loss right now, and in the US at least, 10% of America is without a job. Just last week, 6.6 million people filed for unemployment. A number of people are getting furloughed. And by the way, this is a giant picture. I was a little bit freaked out about how big it was. I was like, is this really worthy of a picture that big? And yeah, I think it is, because this is a big deal. Not because, hey, look at me, I was featured in the newspaper, but because of this. After job loss, opportunity does exist. Actually, in fact, opportunity always exists. It just took that. Was there some sound coming out of my Mac? Hold on one sec. Let me see. Sound. Input. Check, mic check. Maybe that's a little bit better. Yes, that should be better now. Hold on one sec. We want to make sure everything's good. Check, mic check. So yes, the popping sound was coming from the chats. So let me know if that fixed it. Thank you so much for pointing that out. By the way, we got a super chat coming in from Martin. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate you for coming in here, supporting the group. You're one of the regulars. You're one of the greats. Actually, you're all the greats. But let me know if that fixed the sound. I put that there yesterday because that allowed us to play some sound coming from the computer. So, yeah, let me know what you think. And by the way, happy Bruh Day. For whatever reason, the bruh took off yesterday. But as I was saying, the opportunities do exist, for sure. And it just takes you to realize that, well, even in times of crisis, we can make things possible, right? And that's the question to ask yourself. What does this make possible? You have to start focusing on the things that you can't control and start focusing on the things that you can. Still there. Okay. Still hear the pop. Let me see how I can fix this. Thanks for letting me know. What if I do that? That should be fine. I think that'll work now. Okay, so welcome in. Let's give some shout outs and we'll go from there. So Rob with the bruh early. Love it. Bruh again from E. Ellen with the bruh as well. Karma in the house. What's up, Karma? Thanks for being here. Elton, thank you for being here, my friend. It's good to chat with you yesterday. Let's see, the J Vlog, feeling bummed. Got an email from YouTube and demonetized my entire channel without saying specifically what the problem was. J Vlog, I'm so sorry about that. I think that, can it still be? Okay, it worked. Okay, fantastic. I'm so sorry to hear about that, J Vlog. YouTube is finicky sometimes, and number one, we have to realize that, well, let's see what we can do to fix this and reverse this, right? A channel review can work, and also reaching out to YouTube on Twitter. I see that they're very active, the YouTube creators channel. A lot of times it's YouTube's bots and machine learning that can go out and just based on certain things make calculations such that they can then make quote unquote smart decisions on what to do from there. And a lot of times they misfire, and they've been very open about the fact that they've been misfiring a lot lately. So let's see if we can turn that around. Rob, good morning. I can't stay today, but wanted to say hi to all the new friends and drop a thumbs up. Hope everyone is well. Speaking of thumbs up, we do have a like goal today. 200. We're going to go for 200, and I'm going to share a very unique book collection that I have. I've never shared this before, but I have a book collection that is pretty unique. I think it's one of the only ones of the like in the world. So I'd love to share that with you. If we get to 200 likes, we're going to make that happen. I'll keep reminding you. And again, today being at the weekend, we're going to go a little bit over the hour, so we'll have more time for our website reviews. So we'll start the website reviews probably at the 20-minute mark here, so in about 13 minutes. I want to get to as many as we can. So what are these website reviews? These are you inserting your URL and then me taking 3 to 4 minutes to go in and review and just give you some high level, here are my first impressions, here's what I think can be worked on. And already in the few weeks that we've been doing this, people who've had their website reviews have made changes and have seen results. So make sure you stick around, and even those who don't get their website reviewed are learning a lot at the same time too. So really looking forward to seeing you, seeing who's going to be on the chopping block today. All right, great to have you here. When unexpectedly woken up too early makes me smile instead of growl, says Ariel. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Let's see. Cool. Well, hey, did I miss a super chat? Let me see. I saw one from Martin. Did I miss another? Yes, I did. Thank you for letting me know. Hey, Archer, thanks so much, my friend. Hey, Archer, very consistent with the super chats. By the way, all the super chats that come in, they get redistributed to the San Diego Food Bank. So I don't keep that. That's not required to use to do in order to be here. There's no fee required like the song says, but I will very much welcome it, and I'm going to pass it on to those definitely in need. Cool. Jeff says, I'm loving the revised look of the chat lower thirds. I wasn't sure you first did it, but I think it works. How much flexibility does Ecamm Live give you? So yeah, in fact, I can even change it on the fly here, Jeff, although I'm not going to because I like it where it is right now. But Ecamm is where you can do that. So the way to do this, because it took me a while to figure out, is after you're done with your first Ecamm Live. So yes, you have to do it first, or you can do a test version as if you want. And you'll have to have a chat come in. And then after that chat comes in, or you can do this live even if you'd like, you can mess around with with the size of it, with the text. You can double click into it here in Ecamm Live and change some of the colors and the fonts, and that's how you do it. I thought it was through another tool called Streamlabs. Streamlabs is what I've been using to display the super chats that are displayed sort of in this area here with the little DeLorean. That's sort of a cool little automatic trigger that comes out when a super chat comes in. And there's a whole bunch of other things that would probably be a little bit noisy and distracting. So that's why I'm not including that. But we have the super chats, we have the new revised thing, and that's pretty cool. So that's really awesome. AV says, that's a great question. I would really like to dissect popular songs at some point on my channel and show what made them catchy. What precautions should I take to prevent bad copyright trouble? So yeah, this is about, I think people were talking about my song that came out. I designed it to be catchy, very simple, you know, just like, I don't know, like it's very poppy, right? So I don't know, I didn't necessarily know it was gonna take so well, but it was very much me and very much created from my heart, and to brand in an audio fashion this show. And so far it's working. I think some people even said it kind of gets stuck in their head, which is really interesting in my opinion. Once this COVID thing ends, I want to collaborate with you, but I just can't do it right off the bat. I must for the right moment for it to happen, says Isaiah. I mean, yeah, I think that when you're ready, let me know, but I can't guarantee anything. But I think that this is definitely an opportunity for anybody to collaborate with anybody during this time. There's nothing necessarily stopping you. I would even question, why do you have to wait? I think a lot of times we feel that we have to be quote unquote qualified to even have the opportunity to chat or talk with somebody. But a good friend of mine, Glenn Alsop, gave me a great example when he was on my podcast. He said that, well, hey, if he did this through an example. He's like, hey, Pat, I know that you and your buddy Caleb are launching the Switch Pod very soon. And I was like, yeah, so. And he's like, well, what if I told you that I knew somebody who knew Casey Neistat, and I could reach out to him and see if we could make an intro to you and see if he would even look at your Switch Pod and check it out. Now, Glenn didn't know that I had already once shown the Switch Pod to Casey, but if that's like, I don't care who you are at that moment, you're doing something to help me and help me in my goals. Like, yes, I'm going to pay attention. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. And if you help me out, and even if you don't, just the gesture alone, I'm now paying more attention. So that's a great way to understand that we all have the ability and are all capable of seeing what we could do to add value to others. It just takes some time to determine what that is. And I think a lot of people, when they think of collaboration, they think of it as an asking situation. Oh, please collaborate with me. No, I think we should think about the opposite. How might we help somebody else? And that then in turn turns into collaboration. If you can give me a thumbs up to confirm that you understand that, I think it's so key to understand. Let me know. We got a couple super chats that just came in, by the way. Thank you so much. Amazing. Gift wrapped. So, Sue, thank you so much. Love this way to give back. Appreciate you. You're amazing. That's going to help a lot of people get some meals. Rich as well with the super chat here. Thanks for being there for us every day. There's Rich up there popping up, which is fantastic. That's awesome. Are you in a different room for today's podcast? I don't hear the ticking clock. Yay. I turned that off. And I think, thank you so much, because that definitely helped the chat, letting me know that there was a clicking sound. And that was coming from the actual chat that comes in. All right. Bert says, shout out to Pat and the real reason for Easter. Thank you so much. Giving back for sure. Here's Martin's super chat question. Should I set a new domain for calming anxiety or run it off my own website? And would you recommend a .com over a .com or .co.uk or over co.uk? Honestly, the website extension doesn't necessarily matter as much as it did back in the day. So the .com or .co, .io, .this, whatever, it doesn't matter as much. There's very little weight now that Google is giving to those root domains versus what's actually on the website and what the content is about, how much it's shared, how people work their way through the website, all those sorts of things. The other question that you have is related to, well, what do we do about this content that we want to share, especially that's helpful during this time? Put it on your own website. There's no reason to necessarily think that because it's somewhat separated that it has to be totally separate. It can live on a separate place in your website. And that way, thank you, Rafal, for the donation. I appreciate that. What was I going to say? The anxiety stuff can live in its own special area on the website. And that way people who are already coming to the website can see that you are not tone deaf to the situation. You are there to help. And even though it's not necessarily 100% in line with what you do, it also shows that you're stepping up in this situation. It shows leadership. It shows that you have empathy for the times. And of course, if it does relate, then make that connection. And there's no reason to have it, at least initially, branch off into something separate. Take advantage of the things that you've already created for sure. Thank you for the question. Scott says, any other SwitchPod accessories attachments in the works? Yes, we are always planning. In fact, before all this craziness sort of happened, Caleb and I got into an office and we spent about 4 hours planning the next 5 years of SwitchPod, which is really exciting because there's a lot of great tools coming out, a lot of great accessories coming out for it, even potentially new versions of it. You can imagine, for example, a version of a different size, perhaps. Is it bigger? Is it smaller? I guess you're going to have to wait and see. But yes, definitely. And I think this speaks to how important it is to create moments to plan for the future, especially when you have a business. And planning is just a guesstimate, but it at least gives you some direction. It's that address you put in the navigation menu when you get into a car, so you don't waste as much energy. So if you get off course, it can tell you to get back on course. So I think that's why it's really important to think about and have these moments throughout the year, even per quarter, in fact, to plan. This is why I recommend, if you're a blogger or content creator of any kind, getting together with your team or just yourself in an office and going, okay, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to plan the kinds of things we're going to talk about here on the show, or the kinds of blog posts that we're going to write. We're actually going to create a space to do that, versus what a lot of people do is they break up that moment into just time right after you publish the last thing, and then it becomes a little bit rushed, it becomes a little bit worrisome, it's a different part of the brain, and so spending that time to plan is really key. Question from Samson: how does one protect their ebook from being pirated? So there are different sorts of ways that you could do this. I know, for example, there's a shopping cart / digital product delivery service called Gumroad. And there's a lot of things that do this. This is the first one that just popped into my mind, though. But they have piracy protection, in fact, in such a way that the PDF that gets downloaded can only be opened by the person who purchases it, based on the email or some special passwords that get put in there. But that does add a little bit of friction. In all honesty, people are going to hijack and steal your ebook. People steal my courses. People take my course and then they sell it at a much lower price elsewhere. And I'll tell you, my attorney and I, we've worked so hard to get rid of at least 50 different websites where my courses and my books were sold for much lower dollar value or even given away for free. And whenever we've pushed one down, another one comes up. Two come up later. So yes, hypothetically, you could find my stuff at a much cheaper price elsewhere. But to be honest, those people who purchase those things, first of all, shame on you for doing that. Not the purchasers, because you might not know that this was for sale elsewhere. Shame on the person who's stealing and then reselling that elsewhere. This happens. It's very common in the digital space. But the people who are purchasing on those websites are likely people who we wouldn't be able to serve anyway, who wouldn't be customers of ours anyway. And I try to look at it from the other point of view. Hey, well, at least you're helping get more people into my ecosystem, and then they're going to be in my email list, and perhaps there can be some messaging. Hey, if you were able to get in here by some other means other than just a course sale for my own stuff, you've probably come in here at a much lower price. I'm not going to ask you to pay more, but please keep in mind that you could potentially help pay us back in the future by going and actually taking action on this, and then also by purchasing some other products and stuff like that. So yeah, it just happens. It's just one of those things that you have to live with, and it's a very sad thing. I wish it didn't happen. There are protections that can be put into place, IP-based sign-in protections for your online course. There are password protections for your ebook, but even still, it's stuff that's going to be pirated. And I think that, well, as sad as that is, well, there are people in this world who will want to pay you back, who will want to purchase from you, and who would gladly pay full price and would gladly find you and support you because of the work that you're doing for them. So it's just very, very low, but it's just the world we live in. I mean, even think about movies and music. I mean, Napster was a thing that was very popular. Everybody had it because it's just that nature of people to, want to steal and share for some people. Not everybody, obviously, but there are good people out there too, and the honest, great people that we can serve, that's who we need to focus on. Let me sit down. Chris says, how do you find those pirated course websites? Another thing I noticed is hackers trying to get my websites down constantly as soon as it goes online. Shake my head, yes. My website was hacked in 2013. Thankfully, I had an email list to allow me to still stay in constant contact with my audience. Every time I see something like that, or I see like a failed login into my websites, I'm like, bruh, why are you doing that? It's not like, you could be spending this time building your own business, building an audience, actually helping people, as opposed to just trying to take a shortcut and piggyback off somebody else's hard work. It's very, very sad. But we just got to realize that that's just a part of the game. And in terms of keeping your website down, obviously you could include things like, there's a WordPress plugin called Sucuri, Sucuri, which is really great. There's a lot of tools Limit login attempts is another WordPress plugin that's really great. It's a little scary because when you put that in there, it actually shows you how many times different people are trying to log into your website every day. And even if you're a small website, guess what? You're going to have people do that. So make sure you have a great password, obviously. But here's why that happens. Part of here's why that happens. Because there are bots out there that look at who recently registered a domain or what's a brand new WordPress site that's now in the index. Let's go to that website. This is a bot that will automatically do this. And let's use our tools to see how we might be able to guess the password to get in there. And then what that does is it reports back to the person who created those tools what websites are now open, and then they can do whatever they want with it, which is very, very scary. But limit login attempts will make sure that if somebody attempts to log in X number of times, you can say, okay, after 5 times, for example, let's ban that IP address from the website. So that's a WordPress plugin called Limit Login Attempts, and that works really, really well. And I see dozens a day from all my websites, and not all of it is actual human beings doing it. A lot of it is bots that are just set in motion to do that. Christopher with the super chat. Thank you so much, Christopher. Here's a question from Habit Freak. What habits have attributed to your success? So definitely gratitude, practicing gratitude every single day. Very, very big shout out to the 5-minute journal, which actually prompts you every day to consider when you wake up, what are those things that you can be grateful for. It also ends the day with, okay, what are some things that you can improve on? And I love that, just kind of staying in that mindset of, well, how can we continually improve? But also at the same time, starting the day with, well, what do we have access to? Or what can we be grateful for? So that's number 1. Meditation has absolutely been key. Number 3, just building a habit of consistently showing up and always trying to remember why that is important. Thankfully, with live shows like this, it's reminded to me every single day because you're here and you're commenting and you're hopefully liking. Remember, we have that like goal, 200. We're about halfway there right now, just about. And I want to share this very unique book collection with you. In addition to that, another habit is just it's health and fitness. Honestly, the better I've taken care of my body and mind through health and nutrition, the more success has come out. And that's because creativity comes much easier when you are in a much healthier space mentally and physically. Endurance, obviously, is important, especially in times of when you have to really grind and get things done. I've also realized that my calendar is the most important tool. And let's see, what's another habit that I think it's just a habit of honoring the calendar, the time blocks, the scheduling in the calendar. I actually do schedule time with family in the calendar. And I think that's really important for me in particular. That's contributed to my success as a father, as a husband, is because I've been able to create those boundaries. And that's the nice thing about a 9-to-5 job, right? At 9 to 5, you're at work. And at 5 p.m., you go back home and you are far removed from your work. And you can then mentally focus on your personal life, on your business, your family, your hobbies, those kinds of things. Unfortunately, when you're working from home, and especially if you're an entrepreneur, there's no turning it off. There's no endpoint, right? So you have to have that endpoint put in place, and a calendar is definitely a great way to do that. Thank you for that super chat. Francis, besides my current website, I have 4 or 5 domain names based on possible business ideas, but haven't used them. How do you hang on to unused domain name? When do you let it go? So I have about 30 domain names. If you want to put all of your count for everybody in the room here, if you want to make Francis not feel like he's alone, just share how many domain names you have that you're just sitting on. I have about 30. Some of them are very useful, like for example, my kids' names. I have those, obviously. But there's some other ones for ideas that just never got started. And for those, I hang on to them just in case, but often if it's like 5 years, honestly, then I just sort of dump them. So I'd love to know how many domain names you have that you haven't used yet. Just Samson here saying 27 names. It's interesting. 6, the Travel Tourist says. There's 2 says Susan, 2. That's not bad. You're one of the rare ones who is in this space, and you're not going crazy with that. I know some people who literally have hundreds. Literally hundreds. 41, I see 40, 23, 7, 15. So yeah, you're not alone. And I think it just comes to a point where, eventually it can come once a year where you go in and you see these rebillings. And I think that if it becomes something that, you've started something else, you're going to focus on that. Yes, it's a great idea. Sometimes it's a great practice to let these things go. It becomes a great practice and exercise, a good habit, actually, to once a year go in there and clean and purge things, just like you might do with your email list, for example. I did see a super chat come in. Thank you so much for that. Somebody said 200 domain names. That's crazy. Amanda Smith, I implemented some of the website changes you suggested. Thank you so much. And thank you for letting me know about that. So here's what we're going to do. We are about to get into some website reviews. Speaking of domain names. So how this works is you are going to pop in your domain name in the chat here. I'm not going to be able to see it if you just straight up share the domain name because YouTube will hide it. They don't want spammy people in the house. But I want you to spam, but not like a whole bunch of times. Just share your URL, but do it in a unique way. Maybe spell dot or share it in a funky way that allows me to still read it and see it. I'm going to go into the computer, pop it up. We're going to show it off. I'm going to break it down. We're going to build it back up, right? That's what we do on these website reviews. We break it up and then build it back. We break it down and we build it back up. So while you type those in, we're going to start the website reviews now. We're going to go for about a half hour here and try to get to as many as we can. I'm assuming maybe 6 or 7 we can get through. But put in your URL, and then I'm going to have some music come on while I take a sip of coffee, and then we'll get into the website reviews. All right, we got to get up for this. All right, y'all ready? It's time for website reviews with Pat Flynn. Website reviews. Now, unfortunately, these little dots here don't allow me to see, so I have to take these glasses off. But just breaking up the segments there for you. Somebody had asked what the super chats are for. Those get donated to the San Diego Food Bank, by the way. So they're not required to be here, and just really excited to do these website reviews. So let's do these. By the way, speaking of websites, really quick, if you go to smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit, you'll see this page here, which is the online business toolkit that my team and I put together for you. Free resources from my team, including emergency podcast episodes. What do you do if you get let go? 7 tips for staying sane while working from home. My free courses, free books, and a bunch of other things. We've given away over 1.2 million. Actually, it's like 1.3 now. $1.3 million worth of that course. And I definitely recommend checking that out. A number of people have also asked for this, which is the equipment that I use. In the description below, you'll see a link to go and get and check out the equipment that I use to manage this stream and how I do it. Thank you for the super chat, Luis. I appreciate you. So yeah, you can check that out in the link below. But for right now, we're going to review this website here, coming in from Susan. Suffolk Sports Media, images of Long Island high school sports teams. So, okay, I know what this is about now. I'm just curious to know, well, what's the purpose here? What are we trying to do? Hire potentially more clients? Let's go to the contact page really quick. I'm going to pop up the 3-minute timer. To contact us, please email if you'd like us to come to your school. So, okay, you're a media company. You're helping, shoot photos and create images. You have your portfolio here, which is really great, I would imagine. Find your school district, really cool. Okay, so this is, I would imagine, let's say, for example, you are on a sports team, and there's that one day during practice where you go and you take pictures for your team, right? So I really love that. Plus these little action photos. That's a beautiful photo. So number one, just see that this website is not necessarily the best design website, but it still gets the point across. This is what we do and who it's for. Images of Long Island high school sports team. I think that we could perhaps reword that to not just be about what it is that you do, but perhaps something that's unique to Suffolk sports media, right? High quality images of your Long Island high school sports team, or memories made through beautiful photos capturing action moments within, the wording is not so great there, but I think this just looks like a library, the way that it's phrased here. Images of Long Island high school sports teams versus, we are the team to help you create memories of the high school sports teams that you are so involved with. Something like that. Featured image of the week, I like that. I think there is some room to have a few more pictures shown up top. So as I only see one image here, and of course, as you can see here, there's room on the left and right hand side for additional photos. If you are a photographer, you need to show off your photos as soon as possible. Perhaps even having a banner that's not necessarily baseballs, because let's say I'm in fencing and I come here and I see the baseballs, I might go, oh, well, I'm not in baseball, so this isn't for me, right? I know you say sports, baseball is a sport, but connecting to my sport would make it a lot more, hey, this is the place that I need to be. So perhaps you could change that image to a more grayed out / behind the scenes kind of, where it's a little bit darker, but you can still see the images. That because I want the text to stand out. But it could be an array of images, almost like a portfolio, in fact, right there at the top instead of just a bunch of large baseballs. So it could have this fencing image plus another image of a football team or soccer, another image of baseball, another image of fencing, another image of karate, another image of basketball, all at the top. And you can sort of get a different idea of the style of your stuff as well. Featured blog post of the week. Cool. You have a podcast coming soon. Sign up to receive up-to-the-minute information on podcasting episodes. Whenever you have a opportunity to collect email, I think this is great. This is a very smart thing to do, which is let's collect email addresses ahead of a launch of something so we can let people know when that thing comes out. Just sharing that it's coming out soon, though, is not going to be enough. We need to sell the idea of what people are going to get when they get this thing. So in this case, it's a podcast. Well, what are they going to get on the podcast? That's a very unique thing for a photography website to have a podcast about sports. So what is the purpose? Why would I sign up? What am I going to get out of it? What am I going to miss if I don't sign up? And then here, the logo. I don't know if this is necessarily the logo or the artwork for your show, but if it is, I think we could do a little bit better job of creating something that would stand out, use the space a little bit more for those of you who are into podcasting. That means it's going to be a 3,000 by 3,000 square image. This is not a square image, so I don't know if it is the podcast or you're even there yet, but definitely have it be stand out, a little bit more quality, a little bit doctored up a little bit more. The SSM podcast, I see it does relate to sports a little bit, but it doesn't have to match the brand name. I think there could be a more exciting name, perhaps, that would capture people's attention more to then introduce your brand and your business to others, too. So well done. I hope that helps. And just some high level things there about, again, the images that are used on the website specifically, especially because you are a photographer, and how we can have those things support. The other way to think about this, just so y'all know, would be to think about these things like, well, and thank you for the super chat, by the way. That's amazing. Wow. Just wow. Shout outs in just a moment. The other way to think about these images is, if I were to remove the image, would it hurt? Would the point not still be able to come across, right? So if you took this image of these baseballs off the website, would it detract from it making sense that you are a photography website? Might there be a better replacement to do as such, to share the media that you have to offer to others? And then number one, by far, before we finish up here, is just make sure that it's very simple for me to understand where you want me to go. What's the primary call to action? What is it the number one thing you want people to do when they come on this website to do? If it is contact, maybe it's hire us instead of contact. Maybe it's, get photos here, things like that. I think that could be a really interesting thing versus just contact us, if that is the primary motive, and that's definitely what we want. Cool. Great work. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. All right, looking for more websites here. We're gonna keep going. I got Christophe Christophe Merrill. .com. And before that, I just want to give a couple shout outs to the super chats that came in. Like, just wow, incredible. Thank you, Luis. Thanks to your inspiration to many, including me. Thank you, Luis. That is going to help so many people get some meals who just cannot even understand. I mean, thank you. That's going to help so many people here in San Diego. Again, that's definitely going to get to the San Diego Food Bank here at the end of the month. We've already broken the record for last month, by the way, in terms of how many meals have been given to people. And there was another super chat that came in as well for about $10, I think, that I'm looking for. And I'm just scrolling through to find that. Margaret, thank you so much. This is for you being so proudly dorky. You're so knowledgeable, generous, and real. It is a pleasure to be able to hang out with and learn from you. Thank you so much. And it's also you being here with each other. And this just speaks to how important community is. If you've read Superfans, you know I'm just walking the walk here. Let's step up. Let's bring the community together. Let's offer value. And of course, it always comes back in return. Fees not required. Super chats not required, but they will be accepted. They will be passed through to people in need who need meals right now. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Remember, we have a goal: 200 likes to see my unique book collection. People trying to see these things, and somebody had mentioned we only have 112, but there's no thumbs down. Things are looking up. Yeah, we haven't had the thumbs down. I guess they take the weekend off. But anyway, thank you so much for all the amazingness that you have to offer here, everybody. Okay, let's get into some more website reviews. Christophe Merrill, which didn't come up the way that I wanted it to. It's a, let's see. Sorry, Christophe. I'll get into this. Baseball season was canceled. And yes, I promise we are going to do a better job of managing how these websites are coming in as an input. Love this intro. All right, one sec. Okay. Let's try this again. CHRISTOPHMERRILL.com. 2 L's. I missed 1 L there. No, it didn't come up. It didn't come up for some reason. Christophe Merrill. If you could put in your URL again, Christophe, that'd be great. But for right now, I'm going to go to another person. So let's see where we're at. All right, and again, these are totally at random there's a load of people who've come in to share their website. So we're just going to go as I see them. SeanO'Daniels.com. All right, thank you, Sean. Let's see what we got here. Okay, here we go. We're going to go for 3 minutes. Sean O'Daniels, pup pillows, canvas wraps. Wow, beautiful puppy artwork. This is like eye candy, seriously, going down. I would imagine that Instagram is a huge thing for you. Let me just check that really quick. 1,000, yeah, that's probably your home base, right, in terms of showing off your artwork and getting things done. You have these throw pillows, which is great. You have canvas prints. Okay, you didn't ask me to sign up for something immediately. You gave me some time, which I think is okay. That felt okay. Oftentimes with these pop-ups, I worry a little bit about, well, did you ask me too quickly? Now, what is it that you're asking me to do? Join the pack. Okay, some language related to what it is that you offer. Sign up for exclusive treats and updates. I'm not exactly sure at this point in time how much of a draw that is for me. What treats? What updates? It's still a little general. I'd like to see a little bit more specificity and maybe something more immediate. Welcome to the art of Sean O'Daniels. Give your wall a new best friend. I love that. Very clear. Now, how quickly do these go back and forth? You know, you have this here, and then here, I think pup pillows. You can add something like you did here, some language underneath, just to share a little bit. Give your wall a new best friend. How about cuddle with your, I don't know, couch. No, you don't want to cuddle with your couch, but some language that relates to pup pillows as well. So let's go to, obviously you want to sell some stuff. So let's see what it's like when people see, what this process is like to buy your artwork. Okay. So I want to pretend like I'm a customer, and I want to go in and share some advice along the way to make the process a little bit smoother, right? If it's going to hang on your wall, it better make you happy, bring your room to life with each textured. Okay, perfect. Look at this. This is gorgeous. So this one speaks to me. That's great. So far, so good. You're continuing that conversation. DJ Jasper, bring your artwork to life with a texture, Jeff. Okay, I think we could add a little bit more info about this piece specifically. When you start to tell stories about your products, especially artists, for those of you who are artists, telling stories about your art, where did you get the inspiration to this? What does this mean? It goes even further. I heard a story of somebody once who once said, I'm going to pause this button really quick, the timer, but I heard a story once of somebody who found a random thing on Craigslist, bought it for like 20 bucks, reposted it on Craigslist with a story behind it, and sold it for 200 bucks. I don't know if that's true, but I can see that being true, because when you tell stories, things become more meaningful, things become more relevant, right? And so with this image here, which again I really love, it's just like, where did you get inspired to do this? Who are these images in the background? Telling stories about your products that are more personal and more art can go a very, very long way. So it just says canvas print by Sean O'Daniels. Thank you for the super chat. By the way, Sophia, you're amazing. Bring your artwork to life with the texture and depth of stretch. Yeah, I want more information. That would keep me going here, right? Okay, I'm going to add this to the cart. I apologize that this may skew some results in case you're keeping track of that. But I just want to, again, see what that process is like. So adding to the cart. Okay, checking out. Okay, so if possible, some messaging here on the shopping cart pages work really well. I know because I'm an advisor to a tool called SamCart, and these things work really well. Continuing that conversation all along the way, because oftentimes these shopping carts, and yes, I know this might be through Shopify or something like that, but even some testimonials here can go a very long way. My art looks great on my wall. Thank you so much, Sean, for bringing, happiness to my life every day, or, whatever the testimonials might be. This is a perfect place to add that in, because this is, again, people all along the way, every moment they have to make a decision. Should I add my billing information? Should I check out? Is a moment that they're also considering, well, should I not? So these are moments that you need to come in and let people and remind people why they need to continue to move forward. But if I were to get one, that's the one I would get for sure. That reminds me of my dog, actually. The artist, I want to learn a little bit more about you. My art has gone to the dogs. I love this. I think that, wow. Okay, your about page should be blown up a little bit more, meaning I love to see the picture of you here, but why not a picture of you painting some of these things? In addition, I think that there could be more information about you here too, and how and why and where you get your inspiration. Again, more story about this, and this would be a great time here on your about page. Nobody does this, but you should. On your about page, where people are like, yeah, I'm interested in you, tell me more. This is the spot to start asking for email addresses here on the chat. Or sorry, I'm just reading the chat here. Anita, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, I appreciate you. Yeah, so Sean, let's build out the about page a little bit more. And I closed the timer earlier, so I gave you some extra time. But Sean, I love what I'm seeing here. I love your art. I think it's beautiful. Let's add some more story in there. So let me know if that makes sense to you. This is SeanO'Daniels.com. Good stuff. I love that. And I see some success stories on your Instagram. Like, those should be shared on your pages too, because it's always those success stories from your audience, or when your audience can share how much they love something, that's going to help make another person want to join in on the fun too. Good stuff. How are you doing the upper right super chat shoutouts, says Aubrey. That is done through a tool called Streamlabs. So it was a very sort of convoluted way to connect those things together, but it involves things on there that I can't even explain right now. But it allows for me to connect my YouTube channel such that if I receive a super chat, I can design a message to pop up there during that time. That was really great. Does Sean do custom work? I don't know. This is really fantastic. Sophia, thank you so much for the super chat. Luis and Anita, you're amazing. Thank you so much. All right. I gotta do a site review for AV Peers. You've been in here. So where did that go? avpeers.com. All right, so AV Peers has been in here, I think from day one. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to go to the website and see what happens. All right, here we are. Thank you for the super chat, Anita. There it is coming through finally. I see it up there in the upper right-hand corner. Actually, how long is that going to stay there? Let's see. Remember, like goal. We're at 130 right now, so we got this like goal. Let's make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. And again, Christophe, I don't know. I want to get to you too. Don't worry. I want to open that up, but let me know if again you've typed that in. Just let me see so we can queue that up for the next one. avpeers.com. Yep, we're there. Let's see. Is that going to stay there? Okay, let me turn that off because that's staying there for some reason. I think there might be a bug for. Oh, there it is. It came off. Okay. Cool. That works. All right. So AV Peers, and again, I'm just trying to look for Christophe's because I want to make sure that I get into Christophe's. I don't see it here yet. All right. We'll get to it, Christophe. Appreciate it. Okay. Here we go. 3 minutes. AV Peers. Let's rock it out. So AV Peers, audio-visual production, VFX training, graphic design, and more. Music, audio production, tutorials, tips, and tricks. Okay, so again, very common theme that I've mentioned throughout here in all these site reviews is, okay, this is what you do, but what does this do for me? How can you connect with me? There are many other graphic designers, a lot of other video production, editing, and visual effects resources and training. If maybe, is this for just podcasters or is this for corporations or who is this for exactly? The sooner you can have me realize that this is actually for me and me in particular, the sooner it is that I'm gonna wanna dive deeper. This so far, by the way, looks beautiful. Love the logo, very clear in what you do. You've done step one. Step two now is how can you connect this to, how is this gonna help me? How is your graphic design gonna help me? I'm a very selfish person and so is everybody else who comes to your website. So what would you like to learn today? Video production, audio music production, professional graphic design. That's neatly laid out. I like the sort of three in an array there. Subscribe to our email list. You'll be notified whenever we post new content. We promise not to share your information with others. Email list. Okay, I'd like to not have to work so hard to join your email list, right? So there should be perhaps either a pop-up that comes up when I hit email list. By the way, I'm gonna go back to that because it should be a button. It should absolutely be a button, not just a colored hyperlink to join your list. But join the community. Creativity is intelligence. Having fun, says Albert Einstein. Okay, you need to sell me. Why do I need to join the community? What is it that I'm going to miss if I don't get these updates? That's really important. We need to sell the email list joining, right? And perhaps there are some guides that you can offer for free, some sort of lead magnet that's going to incentivize me a little bit more. I also noticed that I'm on a page, which is a ConvertKit page. It looks beautiful. We can add some more copy there. But that opened up a new page. So you essentially have a landing page there instead of a button or an embedded form. And that's not a great experience, meaning it's taking me off, like it's hard to get back. There's no X button to click out of this. I have to click back to get back to where I was. So that I would worry about that a little bit. But let's go to tutorials because tutorials are gonna be huge for you. The more that you teach people, the more that you help others, the more likely it is that you're going to have people continue to come back. So tutorials, quick tips, video. So I'm into video. Let's go into video, and I want to learn how to edit better. Let's see what comes up on this page. Okay, so we need a little bit of work here in terms of, okay, I'm now interested in video editing. I'm here. Share a little bit with me more about, let's continue this conversation. Hey, video editing is a really important part of your business. If you don't do it right, you could lose out on the opportunity to grow your brand, grow your business. With video editing, you can tell stories in a way that you can't if you just, XYZ. Sell me on why I need to now continue to read all these things. You're having me leave a reply with nothing to preface that. But let's go into one of these articles first. I just want to make sure that the articles are written well. And it looks like they're written well. The nice bold image up there, which is fine. I see text before having to scroll down, which is important. Whether you're a freelance VFX artist, aspiring filmmaker, vlogger. So there we go. That's the first time I'm understanding now who is this for. VFX artist, aspiring filmmaker, or vlogger. So if you create with video and you publish as a freelancer or filmmaker or vlogger, well, wow, this is the site for you. How to streamline your workflow, how to save time, how to grow your brand. Like these are now the benefits that I'm talking about, right? Versus, hey, we do this, we do that. Okay, but how's that gonna help me? Oh, you're a vlogger? Great. Well, we're going to help make editing a lot faster for you. Oh, you're an aspiring filmmaker? We're going to teach you all the tips and tricks to have studio quality like deliverables for your clients and for your individual project. You see what I mean? Okay, I love how this is broken up, which is great. Looks great. Download. So this is likely a post where you can inject affiliate marketing, which is great. I saw that. In the footer here, I think we can add a little bit more stuff in the footer. If I come down to the bottom of the page, it's like, okay, well, where do you want me to go next? What can I get into next? And there's a lot of real estate here. Maybe this is where we start to collect more email addresses too, and we can go from there. So overall, not bad at all. I just want to go to shop really quick to finish up. No products in the shop. So if we don't have any products in the shop, let's remove the shop from the navigation menu. We don't want to lead people on, right? And what I mean by that is if you say you have something and then people arrive there and there's nothing there, well then let's just remove that. Like even though yes, you want to have a shop, let's not have it there for right now. You can always come back and come out with that later. So hopefully that makes sense. But well done. Thank you so much, AV. Appreciate you. Notice how Pat edits himself from I to we as much as possible. That's a conscious effort. Do I do that? I think I've just trained myself to do that. Carl, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Carl, thank you. I have a question. I just started a new YouTube channel and was wondering what's the best time to upload UK based. So if your videos are specifically for people in the UK, then obviously you want to upload when they're awake. If you have a worldwide audience, then you might want to go to where your biggest audience is. You can go into your YouTube analytics, and you could show you could see exactly where most of your audience is coming from, and you can just essentially deliver to that time zone there. And what I mean is, likely in the mornings or around lunchtime in that time zone is always best, because then you give people at a time when they're either headed into work or just got to work, or at least in this current season of life right now in the world, it's when they're eating lunch, taking breaks. So in the sort of early parts of the day in the country that you have the biggest sort of reach in, and again, YouTube will give you those analytics for sure. Thank you, Carl, for that. All right, for whatever reason, I'm Christopher. Let me see if I can just search. ChristopherMerrill.com. There's a Christopher Merrill, a poet. Christophe? Was it Christophe? Christopher? I'm determined to get your website up here. Are you a web design freelancer, Christophe? Let me know. If anybody can pull up that URL, if you've seen it, let me know. I definitely want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Again, these are at random, and I was going to start Christophe's, but I wasn't able to get to it. So Christopher, if you're still here, let me know. We need the books, y'all. So 7 minutes ago, hey, we're gonna keep this going over a little bit. So, oops, that's not the one. That's the one I meant to press. Christophe, C-H-R, okay, we're gonna get this. ChristopheMerrill.com. It's not coming up for me for whatever reason. Let's see if I can do HTTP. Okay, we got it to come up. Don't know why you have to use www. That's going to be an issue because, as you can see there, it wasn't able to come up like we wanted it to. But we got it here, which is great. So there we are, ChristopheMerrill.com. This is something that we're going to have to do on the server side of things. If you have a website person, it means just creating essentially a redirect from that to the www or the www to that. That is something that's going to be really important because, as you can see, I tried to get to your website. If people hear you on a podcast and they type it in, it's not going to work, especially because it's your name, and a lot of people aren't typing in the www right now. So we got it done, which is great. So let's see and just make sure that everything's off the way it's supposed to be. Okay, fantastic. So let's go into this right now. So Christophe Merrill, I like the layout of this. So I get to know who you are. The image, I think, could be a little bit better in terms of it's quite bright. It's almost like hurting my eyes a little bit. And I would love to see a picture of you looking at me directly or like it's sort of halfway, right? You're kind of looking at me, but you're kind of not looking at me. And typically when it comes to pictures, you want to have it either be very obvious, you're looking to somebody like, hey, it almost looks like you're saying hello. Although it looks like, I think in this photo, you are on stage and you're probably having the audience raise their hand, right? Versus maybe you are more obviously looking off stage like that. It's kind of halfway, so it's a little bit distracting. And like I said, it's a little bit bright, but that I'm just getting a little nitpicky here. And typically when I get a little nitpicky, that's a good sign because that means, well, other things are taken care of, which is cool. So who is Christophe? And I'm curious. Christophe knows the daily battles entrepreneurs face and how to help them. He started his first company at 16 and later built a $50 million international business. Christophe has spent the past 20 years training entrepreneurs, having spoken on stages around the globe, helping more than 100,000 entrepreneurs. He founded an international training company to develop 25,000 habits or entrepreneurs into habit freaks. His full story. Okay, so first impression, wow, great social proof there. Second impression, so what? How is this going to help me specifically? Having to have me think about that is a little bit troublesome. And again, I'm being just honest with you so that I can help you, right? So I'm glad that I've gotten to know who you are, but how are you going to help me? So, and also it's kind of interesting that it's in the third person versus, Christophe is here, you're looking at me kind of, and, are you speaking to me or who's speaking on your behalf here? I think that's really interesting versus like, hey, I'm Christophe and I'd love to help you grow your business. I've helped over 100,000 entrepreneurs through habit building, create a business that they can be proud of. I've even built an international company with over $50 million in earnings, and I'd love to help you scale your business too. Click here to learn more about me. Click here to learn more about how I can help you. So you see how I got a little bit more specific in terms of Christophe, how you can help me. I think that's really important because to me, quite honestly, it feels a little bit, okay, this guy, Christophe, he's kind of showing off a little bit. He's a little bit, big-headed in that just, this guy's talking a lot about himself and his stuff, and that's kind of cool, but so what? How are we going to do that? Chris even here says, I'm not a fan of the third-person bios on personal websites. We know you are the one who wrote that. Perhaps he is, perhaps he's not, but I think that first impression is like, if you want me to connect with you, why are you not connecting with me? Right? If you want me to connect with you, why are you not connecting with me? Get to know Christophe, his early life. Again, more about you, more about you, more about you, more about your mission, more about you. Yeah, it's a lot. So looking to hire, and this is the same image down here. I think this image works okay down here, although I'd love to see you with a crowd in front of you. This is, if you ever share a picture of you on stage, try to show the audience that's there too, if possible. Love that you have a podcast. That's fantastic. I want to go to that page in just a moment. We're going to go a little bit deeper here because I think this is important. But yeah, you need to sell me on what it is that you can do for me specifically. I love, you have a great about page, but it's your homepage, right? Do you see what that makes sense? I'm curious about what's on your about page. So, okay. So I go to your about and it's down here. So it's all on this landing page. Okay. Maybe there's a button up here that says how I can help you. And I click on that and that takes me to a point on the page, maybe higher up, that is like your superpowers within this realm, because there's a lot of other people who teach entrepreneurship. I teach entrepreneurship. You teach entrepreneurship. Well, what is it about you? I help entrepreneurs succeed through habit forming because our habits create and shape our life and shape the success of our business. Let me help you create the habits in your life through my brand Habit Freaks and show you how you can scale and grow a business too. That's why I'm here. Welcome. My name is Chris. If you want to learn more about me, click below. If you're interested in building your habits right now, click here. So you can see that differentiation. So let's go to Habit Freaks. So I went to Habit Freaks, and guess what? I am exactly where I was before. Nothing changed. And that's a little bit worrisome. That should go to, you're selling this Habit Freaks thing. And now I click on that up here, and I don't know where that takes me. Yeah, so that's not going anywhere. And then hire, let's say I want to hire you. So looking to hire, if you're interested in speaking and consulting with Christophe, reach out. So far, this is a great business card, essentially, where I get to know you and that's it. But I think we could do a lot more here. Let's see, apply now. Where does this go? Oh, it actually goes to an email. Okay. Yeah, I would say that could go to a landing page that could sell a little bit more versus like, here's what you're saying. Apply now. Here, go now. Do the work to send me a message. Versus a page that has a contact form that might guide me through the kinds of things that you want to know. Also, that's also the tough thing about just kind of opening up your email address to people. Plus, by the way, when you do that, you're going to get bots finding that email address because they go out and seek moments like this. You're going to get a whole bunch of spam. You might be already getting a lot of spam. Let's reduce the spam and let's increase the amount of knowledge that you can get from these people who want to hire you, right? So for example, if you want people to hire you for consulting, you can use a tool like Typeform to go, I want to hire you for speaking. Okay, tell me about your conference here. How many people is it going to be in front of? What's your budget like? And now you can have this information before you reach back out. And that could go a very long way in helping guide the conversation and helping you sell more of yourself on stage. And you have a great story. Wow. How can you help me? And help me guide how I can work with you. Good stuff, Christophe. But thank you. Whoa. I saw something really quick. I scrolled and I saw like a giant stage with a bunch of people. Like this image here is very powerful. I wanna see that. I mean, look at this speaks, this image here says more than all this does. Do you see that? This image here says more. You don't have to work so hard to prove yourself, right? This image here does an amazing job. But yeah, I want to get into habit freaks. Like, what is that? I don't know. Is that your podcast? Maybe. What happens if I go to the podcast? Like, I'd love to see your podcast artwork there. Listen on Apple, YouTube. You have a YouTube channel. Great. Awesome. This is great artwork, by the way, for a YouTube channel. Oftentimes the artwork in YouTube channels are very underwhelming. This is great. See, you're looking right at me. I love that. See, these look really good. I like what I'm seeing here. And I'm not sharing my computer. I apologize. So, my bad. So this is the image I was talking about. Like, everybody, look at this image. What does that say about Christophe? He might not need to work as hard to convince you that he's great. That image alone speaks so highly. And then what I was saying here is that this habit freaks thing doesn't go anywhere. That goes back to the top. The podcast just scrolls down here. I can't even click on these. And the YouTube channel looks really good though. Like this is the artwork at the YouTube channel. I love the brightness behind you and the way that you're looking at me. Subscribe for new videos, clear call to action. This is looking really good. This is looking really good. All right, somebody had asked if I was going to go live tomorrow. I will be going live tomorrow, and I'm going to be wishing y'all a happy Easter for sure. And then I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Now, don't worry that we're not going to leave yet. I do want to do a couple more site reviews. We have a goal of 200. We're about 48 away. So if you happen to be in here and you haven't hit the thumbs up button yet, we're going to try to get to 200 because I would love to share this unique book collection with you. So make sure you hit that like button. And maybe we'll go at it tomorrow. Maybe I might reduce the goal to 150 tomorrow because it's Easter, but we'll see. Maybe that'll be the opportunity for that. Anyway, let's get into one more site review. Hopefully these are helpful. Let me know if you are getting value from these in the chat. What was the number one thing you've learned so far from the website reviews? I'd be very interested to know. And as you can see, when we've done these across the past couple of weeks, there are some themes here, very common things that are mistakes that a lot of people have made. So if you've made those mistakes as well, hopefully this is helpful and you can learn from these and realize that also you're not alone. First of all, just great job to everybody whose website has been reviewed here for having a website, getting something done, putting yourself out there. That is absolutely huge. And I think that this speaks so highly to those who are just taking action. And you have to take action and not know what to do. You're going to make mistakes and you've gone so much further than so many people already. So I hope that you see that even though I am sort of being brutally honest with people here, that it's coming out of love and that it also is something that will hopefully help all of you who are watching who are in the same boat too. Yeah, I wish y'all could thumbs up twice because that would be really cool. Almost like on is it Periscope where you can just like keep smashing the hearts on there and then you can get to like thousands and that's pretty cool too. But loved your site, Christophe. I think you're off to a great start. Keep up the great work. Cheryl says what she's learned the most. Customer viewpoint. What's in it for me? For sure. Absolutely. So many things I need to implement, says Doug. Grab their attention by letting them know what the consumer will gain from your website and business, right? And it's funny because when we see these reviews and you're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. But it's hard because a website's very personal. So we make it about us, but it's actually, in fact, not about us at all. It's how can we show that we can be helpful for others? How can we make that connection immediately the moment a person comes on our website? How can we keep a conversation going throughout the different pages that we want people to go through on our website? What's the number one thing you want people to do when they get there? And how are you displaying that? Are you making it hard for them to do that thing that you want them to do? When you are collecting email addresses, how are you convincing a person to leave their very personal email? Are you selling them into subscribing, or are you just saying, hey, subscribe to my newsletter, AKA, let me give you more emails, which nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, hello, I'd like more emails. They want something that's in it for them. Your audience is selfish. You need to play into that. And that's not a bad thing, because we can, by them being selfish, have them connect with us and better help them. We can actually use that to our advantage to serve more people. So you see what I mean? That's how we're going to go about it. Just Samson, good summary here. What can I do for them? How can my knowledge help them? Put my best images in the spotlight. Give before I ask for something. Love it. Well said. Well said. Stacy says, yes, this website review is very helpful. I've received so many tips to update my site before I share it for review. Fantastic. Let's go to another website that we could find. And let's see, we got Sean's already. We got Avi, Christophe, Merrill.com. Let's see, I need to go up here and see if I can find more, because the chat disappears after a certain amount of time. Let's see. I found one. I thought I found one. Okay, we got Ron. And I'm going to do one more after this. I'm just having a lot of fun today. Ron McKee.com. Cool. Let's get into this. You ready? Here we go. All right, Ron. Husband, father, S&C coach, author, speaker. I'm not exactly sure what S&C means. But perhaps that, I mean, maybe that's not a huge deal. That I don't know what that means, because maybe I'm not in your target audience. This picture speaks very highly for what it is that you do. You train apparently with some sort of, I see the, what are these called? Gosh, I love these things. Let me start over, because I'm just wasting time trying to consider. Oh God, I have them. These are really portable, really great tools to use body weight to do stuff. Kettlebells, medicine balls, an image of you here. I think the image of you is a little bit blurry for the size that it is. And, maybe a little bit of a smile could go a very long way. Just saying, husband, father, let's go down a little bit. Join the tribe. We need to sell more people into that. I've already, talked about that. About me, internationally recognized as a leader in the area of sports development. So sports and coaching, I guess. Ron McKee has twice been named Collegiate Strength and Conditioning Coach of the Year, first by Professional Football Strength. Wow, amazing credentials. Good. See, these are nice, high quality photos, right? These are really amazing. This one is a lot more blurry. This looks professional down here for sure. I really love what I'm seeing here. I love how you have it divided. Podcast, I want to click on that. I love how we see you in a room with somebody. Iron Game, Chalk Talk. Cool. Love you have that social proof there. Click here to listen. Might I even be able to listen directly on this page? Yes. Okay, great. Look at that. I mean, 327 episodes in. Great. You have a player there. Fantastic. A bio of who you interviewed. In this episode, we discussed. Perfect. I like what I'm seeing here. You have it as video as well, also available on. This looks really great. I love what I'm seeing here. No comments there. That's great. Let's go to the About page, Ron. See, this is a great professional looking photo too. Love that. You with your students, mentor, leader. This is fantastic. You could potentially collect emails right here in the middle of this page too. However, that's where we need to work. What's the first thing you want people to do? I'm not quite sure. Is it to join the tribe? In which case, this totally underserves the rest of the website. Join the tribe. There's space here to sell. What is it that they're going to be joining for? What do they get? Do they get tips weekly about how to strength and condition? There it is, strength and conditioning, S&C. Also, there's room up here for you to add some copy related to if you had maybe a higher res version of this image. This isn't the worst image. I think the blurriness of it definitely makes it seem a little bit outdated or older. And then I scroll down and I'm like, boom, this is a beautiful looking website. So that image is actually taking away from the rest of the website. However, I think we could fix this. Let's darken the image so it becomes almost a little bit, background. And let's pop out some text here that says Strength and Conditioning by Ron McKee. And then something that makes it unique about you, right? Like there's some real estate here to really sell people on, okay, well, what am I gonna get out of coming in here, right? And then that perfectly will then lead into join the tribe and subscribing for updates. This is a very generic looking thing that, again, takes away what am I subscribing to, why join the tribe, what do I get? You can even include, and this is a very common thing that you can add in relation to selling your subscription is, well, include a testimonial of somebody who might say, man, this email list, or usually I hate email lists, but this is one that actually provides value every single time I open the email. Wouldn't that be great to show and showcase next to where a person's subscribing? Okay, let's go to books. These are likely things that you could, okay, these are great. Does this take me to Amazon? If this is an affiliate link, just keep in mind, and this is a lesson for all of you, my Amazon Associates account was actually shut down. I got it back up, but it was shut down because I had a book page on my website, and I think it was because it was getting a load of traffic. It was making a lot of sales, so Amazon caught note of it. What we need to do here is make sure that your Buy Now button clearly leads people to Amazon. So we had to change it to say Buy Now on Amazon versus Buy Now. Because what you're doing here is you're making it seem like this is a book that you're selling on your own website, but then it drives to Amazon. And since this is connected to an Amazon Associates account, I'm not gonna click it because I don't wanna trigger anything and have you get banned too. But Buy Now on Amazon. Amazon wants to, if you are going to redirect people to buy a book, it needs to be very clear that a button or a hyperlink takes people to Amazon. This is in their terms and conditions. It's not very often shared, but it is something that I've experienced, and it was a pain in the butt to have to go and get my Amazon Associates account back. But it was as soon as we changed that from Buy Now to Buy Now on Amazon, and plus people are familiar with Amazon, so it's actually not gonna take away. It could actually even add to that. But I love that you have your own books here. This is really great. Might there be a picture of you holding your books here on the homepage instead, which proves authority. I didn't know those were not your books. Those are your books. I mean, very clearly it says on the bottom there. That's huge value. That is big time authority, Ron. So let's showcase that on the homepage even to show like, hey, I'm not just some random dude talking about strength and conditioning. I'm an author. And yes, you've self-published these likely, and these are on Amazon, but that holds a lot of weight, pun intended, in terms of you doing strength conditioning, because that's what I meant by like pumping weights and iron. Anyway, yeah, really great. This is one of the better ones I've seen so far in the website reviews. We just can, look at this, like see the kind of authority that this kind of image gives you. Like look at this crowd with you on stage. Love it. This makes me want to hire you. Great. No upcoming events. Not for me either. Let's see. I would love to see a video of you speaking. If you have a speaking page, I would love to see a video where I can click and see, because if I'm going to hire you, I want to see like, this looks cool that you're in front of this audience, but I don't know if you maybe just came on stage to win a raffle or something. I want to see you on stage. I want to hear you talk. I want to get a sense of your style. If you're doing any speaking at all, a speaker reel of some kind will go a very, very long way. All right, we got one more today. We're gonna do some more tomorrow. So let's go to the singingnurse.com. Okay, hopefully you're enjoying this, and we got one more to do, then we're gonna close up shop. We're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna play the song one more time, and we're gonna see if we can get to 200 likes. We have just about 5 minutes left to get to 200 likes. So we just need 31 more likes. So if you are in here and you haven't hit like yet, make sure you do that. We'll see what happens. The weekends I've realized that there are less viewers on the weekend, but we stay here longer because we do these website reviews, and it's definitely more engaging. But we definitely get more people coming in on the weekdays, and maybe I can make the goal a little bit smaller tomorrow to account for that. But hey, we're almost there. We might actually make it happen. All right, so we're gonna go to the computer, and this is Dawn from the Singing Nurse. The Singing Nurse. We love healthy living. Come sing and learn with us. Great. Now, I will say that this website design does look a little bit outdated, and I'm just being honest with you. It does because for a number of reasons. Number one, it's not the layout, actually. The layout isn't terrible, but it's the multitude of different fonts, the multitude of different colors. That's very MySpacey, right? MySpace, remember that back in the day, where you could add glitter and colors and all these different kinds of things, scrolling marquees on your page, and that's something that we don't want on a website. And you can still have fun, you can still be whimsical, and that's okay, but this hurts the eye. It's not very professional looking, and it does hurt to read. So you have like this more texty looking one, you have all different kinds of sizes. I would stick to just 2 fonts on your website, maybe 3 if you have different styles in places where it would make sense. So your main one, which is it should be a little bit larger as well. This is very hard to read here too. And of course, I think that the layout here also speaks to it being a little bit older in terms of just you could divide these areas a little bit more with some headlines that might say. So for example, just let me help you out here. This is the homepage, so it's really important. I love what I'm seeing here in terms of having it be easy to go through. But so it almost is like it's almost like you're doing health-based stuff, but related to the voice, which I think is really unique. But yeah, just the way these are laid out look very a little bit outdated. But let's go here on the homepage and see if I can help you out. So here I am on the homepage, music/home. Why not subscribe for your free hand washing activity ebook today? So I like how you have stuff relevant to what's happening today. Also receive time-saving resources to make your day fun, upbeat, and educational. So here, this is like the first example we've seen of somebody actually describing what it is that you're gonna get when you subscribe. Receive time-saving resources. I wanna save time. I want to have fun. So that's great. But then where do I go to subscribe? So I don't know where to go to subscribe. It looks like you have this arrow pointing to maybe here. So you have a great sort of call to action to subscribe. I wanna see a very clear, nothing around that area except to do the thing that you want me to do. Because right now, I don't know where to go. And you have an arrow pointing to nothing, and maybe it's this, but even this alone, it's so far removed from where you had mentioned to sign up. I don't know if this is exactly what I'm signing up for. Plus, you're asking for email address, first name, last name, untitled. I don't know what that means. Email format, not required. Just ask me for first name and email, and that's it. That way we can bring it up. We can pop it in there, showcase it right in the middle of the page here. And then here, purchase my music downloads from, and again, I wanted to click downloads because that's underlined. Be careful when you underline things because underline is typically signaled to click on something, and here it's not clickable, and it made me want to click on it. You want to save those for things to click on. And as you can see here, this one was clickable, and I just found that by mistake. You see our video review. Make sure if you say a video, you can put an embedded video there instead so I can click on something. This just needs to be organized a little bit more. I think everything you're saying here is great, but we can reorganize it to look a little bit more to the times, which would mean also just choosing less colors to play with, bigger font, more sections, if you will, versus it just kind of looks like a big essay here with different fonts, and that's hard to read. You also have, is this a podcast it looks like, or some music? So yeah, the layout here on the homepage is gonna be the key thing for sure. Let's also go to health lessons. I think that's really cool that you're doing that. Thanks in advance for purchasing the Singing Nurse product. Subscribe for free. Again, subscribe where, I don't know. So this is where I would go to order. Okay, so curriculum with music. I would recommend having testimonials in there if you have anybody. And again, this, I think, I see the sort of white border around this image, which makes it look very sort of outdated. You can have it be a transparent PNG that can live on this. And again, the fonts are a little bit different. We need to do a little bit better job of selling, okay, well, what is this exactly? So before thanking me in advance, tell me what this is exactly. And perhaps even a video of you sharing like, hey, my name is, Dawn, I'm the Singing Nurse, and I'm here to help you understand exactly how we can both have fun and stay healthy at the same time and sing. So what you're gonna, what this is our health lessons for kids with some music, and here's some examples. just like those infomercials, right? That you hear when they're selling music, they play the music. So how can I get a preview? If it's music or video or media based, like that's a perfect opportunity to share, samples of it, so I can get an idea of what it's like. Because I'm not going to order unless I know exactly what this is like. And to me right now, it just looks like I'm ordering a PDF file or a booklet versus music. And I think that's really important to showcase the music that you have to offer, which is what you're all about. So yeah, we just need some organization. And I would say that perhaps there might be a way for you to go, okay, well, what is actually necessary here for me to do what I want people to do, and what is not necessary here? So it's a great first pass. Let's. And I love this photo of you with a kid in sort of in a learning environment that speaks to your authority. Let's go to your About page really quick. So these are great images, a little bit more about you. Great. See, and again, this is a perfect place to go. And by the way, if you'd like to receive these tips to stay healthy and have fun at the same time, enter your email below, and then have the fields down there below. That could go a very long way too. So 183 likes now. Don, I hope that was helpful for you. 183 likes. I definitely want to share this book collection with you, but I'm not going to do it until we get to 200. And we are almost there. We only have 17 more to go. I'm going to hang on for about 3 more minutes now to see if we can do it. If not, we'll save it for tomorrow. But hopefully that was helpful. Let's see. It does look like a website from 2007. Seems very busy on that page. Definitely very busy. Let's see. Who else is home? Ask them to smash the like button in just a couple of seconds. So, okay, first of all, these like goals, they're just made up, right? But hopefully you can see how important it is to have and set goals for your community, your audience. You see how this is sort of like very meta, right? I'm talking about this while we're doing this. But having something that your audience can work toward together brings everybody together, and it actually creates excitement. It's just literally a made up thing for something that maybe isn't even that interesting to some. But as you can see, the crowd's coming together and we're all in this together. 14 more to go. But hopefully this speaks to how we need to step up for our audience and create these things so that we can move people, right? And this is a very small micro example. Hey, let's create a like goal of 200 here so that we can get people to, come together and actually hit the like button. Well, how can we do that on a macro level? Well, we can run these challenges, right? Like my 100 email challenge. And to speak on that a little bit, if you go to smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit and you go to that page here, which is the online business toolkit, you're going to see that down here, you're going to see something called the 0 to 100 email challenge, right? This is a challenge that was built to get people to finally start their email list. It's free to do. You can do it if you'd like, and it'll help you get to 100 emails within 3 days. Now, there's a very specific reason why it's 100 emails and not 1,000 emails. And there's a very specific reason why it's 3 days and not just eventually. It's because it's a finite amount of time when something needs to happen. When is it going to happen? And it's very achievable. It's 100 emails. And people who have forever wanted to start an email list, but needed a space to do it and an excuse and some guidance, well, here it is. And it's because there's a very common goal here. So are you creating common goals for your audience that they could do that could, guess what, get them a small, quick win? That's the difference between this like goal and this goal here of going to 100 emails. Because when you can offer a quick win like that, especially related to something that they've known they've needed to do, but haven't done it in a while, it can get people to, number one, experience these quick wins and rewards and keep coming back. It can get them to continue to move forward. It can get them to want to take further action with you. And from here, you're going to see it's a 3-day sequence of emails that you get that'll teach you how to do that. And then on day 4, I go, okay, you've done it. Here are the next steps. And those next steps would be, okay, now that you have this email list that you didn't think you can do, here is an email service provider that will give you a free trial to its ConvertKit to see how you might be able to go and do that. And that could work out extremely well for you if you're, that's instead of just going, hey guys, you should start an email list, here's ConvertKit. It's, hey, let's have this common goal, a challenge to help you get there, and then I can offer them the next thing afterwards. So very, very common thing that's working with a lot of marketers today is to see how we might be able to get our audience to move by creating these little challenges. So thank you for demonstrating that for me here today while we are very close to our goal. We only got 6 more to go. Yes, realize that, says Coach Constance. Even realized a few minutes ago I could invite peeps because the likes and the number of viewers are almost equal and it would benefit whoever is invited. Like to all my accounts too, thank you. So as you can see, like people really want the goal. We don't like when something doesn't get achieved, right? So how might you, with your audience, whether it's something where maybe it's just on a YouTube video, or maybe it's something much bigger like a challenge that I've just offered you. Elena says, thanks for, oh, nice site, Ryan, sorry. Thanks for another great show, super useful. I've been working on a website blog for some time now, slowly but surely, and it all started because I was inspired by one of your videos months ago. Thank you so much, Elena, I appreciate that. Karma's on its way out, all good. We got 5 more to go. I have an email list from 10 years and I'm not utilizing that. Would love more ideas on that, says Marla. Yeah, I mean, definitely. So I have a lot of YouTube videos actually about how to utilize your email list. I think the biggest thing is communicating with your audience in such a way where you can collect more information from them, where you can understand more about them and what they might need help with, and using that as a communication tool versus just an email collection sort of broadcasting tool. A communication tool is a great way to frame it. Thank you, TJ. TJ, did you see the shirt? Do y'all know where this shirt is from? Just want you to realize that yesterday you had mentioned Stranger Things, and we have the shirt about Stranger Things today. So that was for you, TJ. Suzanne says, how about setting up an income tween?
Bruh.
Well, how about setting up an income stream Twitter chat so we can keep the conversation going after hours and bring in new people from there? Yeah, hashtag the income stream might work for a hashtag. That's all sort of we need. Christophe says, can't thank you enough. What biz would you do if you were starting over? Well, that's a great question, Samila. It really depends. I have a whole number of ideas, and I think which one I would do depends on which one I could validate first, or which one would be most exciting. Which one would, light my fire more. I have a shoebox full, literally, of just a bunch of ideas that are, plan, X to, Roman numeral, whatever. That's weird. But I would pick the ones that are most interesting to me and then start talking to people. That's what would determine where I would put most of my time and effort. Hey, we did it. We got to 200 with 3 minutes to go till the half hour. So now I get to share with you this very exciting book collection that I have that is very unique. So well done, everybody. Fantastic. So let me go get these books. They're actually right up here. You can see them. I'm gonna share these books with you. Let me get them really quick. All right, so here's just, have you seen this book before? Gary Vee on entrepreneurship's take on leadership, social media, and self-awareness. So here's the unique thing about these books. You've heard of these books before. Company of One by Paul Jarvis. Finish by John Acuff. Side Hustle by Chris Guillebeau. This is the $100 startup. Look at the cover to that. I don't know if you could see that. Let me see if I can. So here's what's unique about these covers and these books. Let me see if there's another one that you might recognize. School of Greatness. Level Up Your Life by Steve Cam. Here's a good one that was very popular recently. Atomic Habits. So what's the common thing here with all these books? It's not that they're self-help books. It's not that they're business books. It's the fact that these are advanced, uncorrected proofs. So that's what it says, right? Advanced uncorrected proof, not for sale, hardcover original. Advanced uncorrected proof, not for sale. This one came before even the cover was designed. Uncorrected proof, not for sale. Please do not quote for publication without checking against the final book. These are the first drafts from these authors who have put these in, or probably not the first draft, but definitely not the final draft. But these are books that were sent to me as a review copy to read before the final book came out. So this is a very interesting collection because these are not found anywhere. These cannot be on sale. These are very unique, and I'm very proud to have these because it almost, number one, these show me works in progress, and that's the lesson here that I wanted to share with you. even these amazing authors have iterations, have corrections, have mistakes. And I've read some of these too, and some of them literally have like terrible grammatical errors, spelling errors, because they haven't got to the point yet where it's gotten to the editor. But these are things that are sent to people to potentially review. And I've collected these because it just reminds me that, wow, a lot of these big time entrepreneurs, well, they struggle too. And they go through a process and they iterate. And it encourages me to keep going and iterate too. So iterations, that's what it's about. So that's something that was really cool that I wanted to share with you. This is a new one that just came out. The Money Tree by Chris Guillebeau. Advanced uncorrected proof, not for sale. So pretty cool, right? Thanks for letting me share that. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the super chats today. We did a great job. We have helped a lot of people get some meals. Again, super chats are not required to be here, but I will welcome them and I'll pass them on to those in need. And thank you for all of your time and attention today. Thank you for the website reviews. And for those of us who are on the chopping block today, we're going to do some more website reviews tomorrow. We're just going to go for an hour long tomorrow since tomorrow's Easter, but I will show up same time tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm here every day for you. Thank you so much. And keep your head up and we'll keep the conversation going. If you want to be on Twitter, use the hashtag #TheIncomeStream, hashtag #TheIncomeStream, and we'll go from there. Cool? Cool. So we'll just make that a thing. And if you want to tag me at Pat Flynn, I might pop in every once in a while today too. So hashtag #TheIncomeStream. And again, the reminder for the link here, patflynn.com/TheIncomeStream if you want to make your way to the waiting room every single morning. And as always, take care. Appreciate you. Much love, and Team Flynn for the win.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.